Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to comment and subscribe.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel again. Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate your support, whatever ways. Today, I'm filming from outside. It feels really good. It's really early. I love the sun that's coming out. It's really a mood booster. Today, I'm going to go right in and talk about how to live an authentic life. How do we live an authentic life? After the past almost 2 years of, the pandemic and so much being, having gone on, it's been so traumatic. And many people who have had, losses, loved ones, changes in their life, people who have had to pivot in so many ways, even career-wise, if you have to shift or lost your job, a loss of a loved one or a loved one being sick. Many of us, like middle age right now, especially being intertwined between taking care of our own kids and also making time for our parents. Sometimes if you have parents who are maybe sick or in the nursing home or living at home with you, helping you with your children. If your children are young, that is a shift. That is transitioning. And sometimes transitions can leave us grieving. So how do we live our best authentic life even in the midst of grieving? Like I had mentioned before in previous video, grieving doesn't always have to be, physically losing a loved one. That's really hardcore grieving, but different shift, transition phases, in our lives, unexpected events that happen sometimes can put us in grieving mode. That we find that there's a lot of trauma and struggle out there, even myself included, right? So I wanted to put out this video to say that even right in the midst of difficulties, especially emotional heaviness, difficulties trying to go through the grinds of every day, trying to find yourself in the midst of being intertwined between different things being thrown in different directions, most especially as women. How do we find meaning? Research has actually shown that in communities where people have found meaning in their lives, meaning can be, you find meaning with your family, meaning with your kids, meaning with having a pet, meaning with your job. When you wake up every day, you look forward to seeing those things that I mentioned and plus more. Even, sometimes you do look forward to, you're excited, but there are times where it can be a dumper, it can be a grind. So how do you find authenticity right in the midst of that? To find joy, not just you're just going through the motions, but be really present. So like I was saying before, research has shown that people who actually have meaning in life, meaning doesn't have this big aha moment that you found like a purpose, but when you find like that meaning, what it means to you, how it makes you feel settled, it makes you feel at peace, even when you have a lot of other difficulties that you're juggling, trying to shift things in place to align to where you're going. It gives you a better outlook of life. It gives you longer life, better memory, better peace, better able to mingle with the people around you, your support system around you, even better when you have meaning and you have hope. Once you have those two and you're focused on your direction of your I saw this quote the other day and it resonated with me a lot. Well, once you find your why, that's another thing. Once you finding meaning sometimes is derived from finding your why. And once you find those two, it just makes the journey of transitioning easier. Finding your why, finding the meaning and hope in life. It, like I said, doesn't have to be this big aha, like I'm moving out to Hollywood, I'm moving to a whole new state, I'm starting this whole big business idea, which is all great as part of the bigger plan, if that's where you're going. But the little, even itty bitty meanings, like let's say you're raising a difficult child, or you're in a very difficult relationship, how do you find meaning for yourself? Because once you find yourself, that why, that meaning, that center, everything else tend to fall in place, rather than spending your whole time trying to chase emotions, trying to, it's exhausting trying to figure out, reacting, trying to center. But once you do have that meaning, so really a few points is trying to reflect, so I have 4 points. Reflect to find what your meaning is, what your why is, why are you here? What is your purpose? What's your focus? Where's your goals? Once you get that and you quiet yourself down enough to find that why, that meaning, that shift, and taking the shame out of your story, because you have to own your story, right? No matter what your journey has been in the past, what it is now, and what it's going to be, that's your story. Owning that story and the why you're here is so important in giving you that peace, that joy, even in the midst of being intertwined between different things. Every day can be different, and different phases happen in life. Like I said, nothing ever is permanent. There's no permanence. But once you can whip it out here in the brain, you can whip it everywhere else. In your pocketbook, in your life, all of it. So finding that, being at peace enough to find the meaning, to find the why, to find the hope. Once you have hope, you have options, right? When you feel like you don't have options, that's where hopelessness and sadness, and you're trying to find your meaning and peace from other people. But it's all here. You can find it right inside you, but you have to quiet enough to find it. 2 is really meditating. Meditating for some people can be hard, trying to be quiet and listen to your breathing and all that sometimes can be hard, including myself. But meditating can be anything. Like today, I'm out in nature, in the sun. To me, that's meditating. Going on hikes is another one that's meditating for me. Being connected to nature, really seeing the greenery, the glory of our maker, the God, the powerfulness of him, of what, he can do, be in that gratitude mode. So even if I don't get to going on hiking, I go on walks, just short walks and reflecting. So meditating, prayer is another way of meditating, right? So in the morning, just having that quiet time to connect with the higher power is another way, without God. So meditating, being at peace, doing yoga, going for dance. Dance can be like, Zumba. I love Zumba. I'm not the most coordinated person, but I love Zumba in a way. When you're a person behind me, you'd be like, oh, what is that girl doing? But girl, I'm doing my thing because it gives me joy to listen to the music and move along with it. So adults dance learning, to go to a dance class, I mentioned before, is really important. If you don't have the time or the luxury right now to go for a dance class, because as you learn the steps, it does something to your brain. The restructuring is actually in the long term helps with memory, like in your 60s, 70s, 80s. It prevents memory loss. It prevents dementia, Alzheimer's, name it. What you do right now in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s matters when we are in our 60s, 70s, and 80s. So, life is so fragile and short. You're here for just a moment. So I'm going to tell you right now, don't take the simple things for granted. Be meditative, knowing the meaning, the whys, the hope. Keep that alive. Finding gratitude in taking walks, hiking, yoga, going for dance lessons, really being present, with the moments. Sometimes kids can drive you crazy, parents can drive you crazy, family members, friends can drive you crazy. But what is the meaning? Why are those moments important? Why do they matter in that time frame? So really reflecting in that and finding some things in there to be grateful for helps go through that journey of transitioning or grieving a little easier. If you lost a loved one, really remembering some of the joyful moments that you spent with those people that had passed on also helps bring closure, right? It's hard. It can be hard sometimes to even look at their pictures and stuff, but trying to kind of remember them for the joyful moment can help you kind of go through the process a little easier. And grieving can come in so many stages, denial, then sadness, then anger sometimes, then it can bubble between all of them. They're like a bunch of stages that you can go through. I did a video on grieving, actually, if you want to check it out. But yeah, that's my little nugget for today. Being out here, I'm like, let me just put out a video while I'm here. Beautiful blue sky. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. So I hope you're also practicing gratitude. Thanks so much for checking out my channel, and continue to give me a thumbs up, a comment, and maybe if you're up to it, subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great, wonderful rest of your day and a week. Catch you later.
Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to comment and subscribe.